Okay, well, before we begin, the first thing I'd like to say is a big thank you, first of all, to you, Marina, very, very much for taking the time to do this. As I mentioned before we started recording, it's a pleasure and an honor to be here today, so I'm very grateful for you making the time for this.
The pleasure is all mine.
Yes, absolutely. And I will say for our audience as well, just so that everyone knows what is happening, today is episode 526 of the Simply Inspired podcast. And today we are joined by a very, very special guest indeed. I'm very, very honored to welcome to the show Marina Kazankova. Hopefully, I'm saying it the right way. Actress, public speaker, motivational speaker, free diving world champion, multiple time Guinness World Record holder, and psychologist as well. A truly inspirational figure who has a positive impact on the lives of many people, purely an inspirational lady. And today, that is what we will be talking about. Marina and myself will be speaking about her life, of course, but also some of the lessons that she has learned along the way in this remarkable journey, some of which we hope will be beneficial to all of you, the listeners. So, with that being said, we can get into some topics, but a little bit of context there. Now, Marina, most people will know about you. Most people will know about the acting, the movies, TV shows, free diving. But for anyone who doesn't, just to kick things off with something fun and something sort of easy but fun, is you hold multiple records. I mean, there's the underwater dancing, there's quite a few amazing things that I've seen. For anyone who is hearing about you for the first time, just so that they are included in this as well, can you share with us a little bit about some of the records that you hold, please, with Guinness World Records and what they are, just to start this off with a fun and easy topic? Thank you.
Oh, with great pleasure. Hello, everyone. I'm very honored to be the guest here and have the possibility to inspire you with what I love in the life, what makes me really alive. And a little bit about Guinness Records. It was a very strange story. When I was 7 years old, my father brought a Guinness record book, and we were looking at it with all the family, like saying, "Oh my God, these people are absolutely heroic, and they're so different, and it's." So beautiful to have that kind of inspiration of something that is very, very far from our everyday life. And then one day in 2016, I had a call from Gabi Coste, and she said, "Oh, Marina, hello. I would like to ask you if you would like to make a Guinness record." And that just brought me to my 7-year-old, to that book, and I said, "Oh my God, yes, I would love to." And she proposed me to make the longest underwater horizontal swim in the open water in Bonaire. And I did it. I didn't believe that I can do it because it was in my childhood, it was so far from the possibility. But once I've done it, and my daughter was there helping me. She was still a little girl, and she got a lot inspired from that. Then I started to get messages from people that thanks for what we've seen. For example, I went to open a new chapter in my life. I went to the gym. I did something that is good for myself. And so, oh, but so this is not only my ego thing saying that I can do something exceptional, but it's also something that helps people to overcome their limits, and it's amazing. And from that, I started to create a Guinness record a year, putting together my action skills and my freediving skills. So all my Guinness records are something performing. The first one I've done with the mermaid tail. So it was not only going with a monofin, so it was even more difficult, but more scenographical. Then the record that I love a lot, it's underwater dance. Dancing underwater with the fabric, it looks so elegant and so mesmerizing. underwater bridge, like yoga pose. That was extremely hard because it's all like absolutely opposite to freediving, because you need to have a pose with your diaphragm totally in stretch. Normally, in when we are freediving, we try to relax our diaphragm to make it really soft. And here it's like the bridge. And yeah, I love just creating new records. And if you guys have an idea, a creative idea of what can be the next Guinness record performing and freediving, just write me and we can realize it together.
Absolutely, that is amazing. That is amazing to hear the background story. Obviously, I've seen these records, but to hear about it firsthand from you is very, very inspiring for all of our listeners. Now, you also touched on something else there, Marina, that I think is very relevant from the inspirational side, because when you're doing psychology and you're doing freediving, obviously freediving is a very physical thing, but it's also a very mental thing as I understand it, in the sense that you have to train your mind. There's elements of how to stay calm, obviously, how to believe in yourself, these kinds of things. And I would like to talk about the connection there between the psychological aspects and the mental preparation for freediving. And I don't have a really narrow question about this aspect, but just how it works, because you have to condition your mind as well as your body. And I just think that that's fascinating, and there's some fascinating life lessons contained in that process, I'm sure. Can we hear a little bit about how you do that, how you mentally train as well as physically train, please? Thank you.
In freediving, and I think that also in all other sports, but in freediving we can see it so clearly. The mental part is even much bigger than the physical part. Because in freediving, you need to be totally relaxed. Like, more you are relaxed, more you can go. As soon as you become tense, that's the end of your oxygen, so it gets out really fast. And while you are in a world championship or in a record or in any kind of other sort of competitions, it's just very difficult to stay calm and relaxed because you have the pressure of yourself and the pressure of the audience and the pressure of the status of the event, like World Championship, that brings you to tense and to try to perform as hard as you can. But you can't because you will get out of oxygen and you will not perform as much as your body actually can. So you need really to train a lot your mind how in the moment when, for example, your name is called, like Marina Kazankova, and I need to go in 2 minutes, and the heart starts to do doom 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 because you start to feel all of it inside. How you can switch off and just come inside yourself, take out all the pressure, focus, and just feel and go as much as your body can go in this moment. And no matter what is happening outside, no matter what temperature of the water is, no matter how many people are looking, just it's a great source of concentration of your attention and presence in the morning, in the moment. It's exceptional how it works with the body and with activating the abilities. I have the story of my first world championship. I was 24 and I was practicing freediving. And when I was like 8, 9 year old girl, and it was a game. It was there was no even the name free diving. It was just going underwater. And I was practicing it with my father and having really good results, but we were playing. So when I was 24-year-old, after a long, long break, my father calls me and say, "Oh, hi Marina, do you want to participate to a world championship in freediving?" Okay, I have been practicing this sport for more than 10 years. And he said, "Okay, I think that I'll be able to train you and you can give good results according to what you've done when you was 9 year old." I always trusted my father, and I was practicing a lot of sports. So I said, okay, let's try. Why not? And we tried hard for 1 month to get to the World Championship. It was very hard and focused trainings, but it was only 1 month. And when we went to the championship, my father said, I think you need to train a lot your mental state. That is the most important. We trained for 1 month physically, but now it's time to train your mental state. And he gave me auto trainings and visualization that I was visualizing what I want to do. And as soon as we were training in the pool, and there was not the possibility to train in the sea, in the ocean, and the World Championship was in the ocean, we needed to go to 15 meters depth. It was the discipline jump blue, going on 15 meters. Then you make the square of 15 meters, the maximum distance you can, and then you go up. As soon as we were training in the pool, I was able to equalize till 6 meters as the depth of the pool, but no, not a meter deeper. And the weather conditions were very difficult, the waves and rain, cold water. So it was really challenging. And during the training, we had 3 days of training. 2 days, I was not able to descend over 6 meters. And I was at the World Championship. So it was impossible even to get where I need to start. And then I was training really hard with my mental state, with these visualizations, in the way that on the third day, I've got a jellyfish who touched my ear. It was very burning, but it helped me to equalize, and I arrived to 50 meters. And that was a great achievement. I arrived to 50 meters. And after that, I already knew what to do. I did a lot of dynamic in the pool. So next day, the day of qualification, I was spending all the day in visualization. So I was laying on my yoga mat on the ship and visualizing till the moment that I was called for my performance. And I did the 8th result from 40. From 40 women, I was the 8th. That was okay, I was qualified. And I spent 2 more days in visualization till my visualization was something that I achieved. So for my brain, that visualization was something that I have already done. And in the finals, I just needed to repeat what I've already done in my mind. And I went to these 15 meters. I made 2 circles and a little bit more, put the pin on the rope and get out and made the protocol clearly. So I did 152 meters. That was the absolute world record. The male world record was 135. And I did something that my body would not do alone without the mental preparation because it was not that long trained for that. So in that moment, I was really inspired by how powerful our mind can be and what it can do. And also, plus to the mental preparation, I had a very strong motivation to do that. And my motivation was to say thank you to my father, who taught me so many different sports and let my life so active and open to different experiences. And from there, my real journey in free diving starts, and my workshops of psychological preparation to help people with the mental, with the mindset to go over the limits that they impose in the head, because our body can do much more than we even can imagine. It's only in our head that we have limitations that say, okay, here you need to stop. If you listen to this and you stop there, you arrive where you arrive. But if you want something more, if you want to try to test, you just can base on your mental strength and on your um, unlimited possibilities and continue. And that's what I love from the life and from freediving and psychology together.
That is an incredible description, I must say, very eloquent description, very inspiring because for everyone listening to this, these principles apply in any area of life that you choose to pursue. So it's a wonderful, wonderful description. But to go deeper into other aspect of that mentally, you mentioned about the visualizing right up until they called your name with that first one and staying in the process. But I'm curious now as well, when you are so far underwater, so many meters, what you're actually thinking or feeling in that moment, because it's not something that everyone will experience. I mean, I hope that a lot of people come to join you to learn from hearing this talk today. But nonetheless, and maybe not everyone will experience, but I'm very, very curious as to the calmness in that aspect, because the calmness in preparation makes sense, but the calmness in the moment, like if I try to put myself in your shoes for a moment and think, so far under there must be moments where you feel worried and everything. So how do you stay calm in the actual the actual depths, if you like, of these things? I know you've been doing it a long time, but I also think it's a really fascinating insight. If we can discuss that, please. Thank you.
It's a great question. Thank you very much. And actually, being underwater is a magical moment. Uh, at the beginning, we can face a lot of fears. Free diving, for me, it's a very simple, simplified scheme of our life. So it's how we live, how we react, and why simplified? Because it's everything much faster. And you have less time. You have only the time of your breath hold. So if you don't enter in this time, it's something very big afterwards. That's why everything is very simple and fast. First, you face the fear of, oh my God, it's so deep. Just looking from the top. And you have something very huge under yourself. It's the water. Nothing that you can lean on, no ground, no floor under it, just abysses. So actually, for our mind, it's very scary. And here, you can change the perception of this fear. Or you say, okay, it's very scary, I'm not going, and you don't go. Or you say, okay, it's so profound, there is nothing that I can stand on, but I'm in the water, so I should not stand. And it might be interesting and curious what is in there and what will happen to my body and my mind if I try to go there. And you have those beautiful sun rays that are going through this blue big huge water, and it's so beautiful. So instead of feeling fear, you can feel curiosity and the beauty. Once you switch from the fear into the different emotion, you start to want to try. And starting trying, you discover that actually there is no fear in there. If obviously you are in the safety rules, you have the body, you have you go a few meters to understand first what is easy for you, and then you increase this easiness. Uh, but always being in the mental state of curiosity. So you're curious. And once you go down, you start feeling the pressure of the water hugging you. If you feel that it's pressing and try to stop the pressure, it's impossible. It will increase and you will just be tense and you can have a lung squeeze. But instead, if you just feel the hug and you give yourself into the hug as if it was someone you love, it becomes much more tender and pleasant. So you feel very safe underwater. And deeper you go, deeper you feel this hug. And the mental monkey mind that we have in our everyday life just disappears. You just think about nothing. You have empty mind. You are mindful. You feel the mindfulness. You feel the connection with the universe. You feel the connection with this water. You feel the connection with whales that are somewhere there, and you might also feel the vibration of their sound. So it's really amazing. And deeper you go, after a while, you start to have a nitrogen narcosis. It's not that strong as for divers, but you have some, and the perception is changing. You feel that you are in your world where you have the silence, where they have the clear mind, where you have that beauty, and you even don't want to go up. So you're so good there that it's for me it's a very deep state of meditation in motion that I love, and it's really a moment of peace, a moment of real life, real moment.
Wow, that is a beautiful description again. I mean, especially the spiritual aspect, the connection with all things. It actually makes a lot of sense. I understand this. I was thinking that as you were describing it, that it actually sounds like meditation, and then later you said it is like meditation, mindfulness. I thought, okay, we're thinking the same thing because it really does sound like that. It's very beautiful, very beautiful. Now we must also touch here on the actual achievements themselves because you told us about your first championship earlier. We were speaking about that, and of course we've spoken about the Guinness World Records, which is a different thing, but it's connected. But in terms of this normal free diving itself, what are your proudest moments or your favorite moments in terms of your achievements? Because from the sound of this, your favorite moments is actually being down there. So I understand that. But in terms of the wins, the championships, the maybe something less tangible, maybe somewhere that freediving has taken you in the world that you wouldn't have gone otherwise. You know, it comes in different forms. But I just feel that there are special moments here that maybe you would like to share that are the most special to you. And we can't tell from looking from the outside, people like me, we can only tell from hearing it for you, which free diving memories, like of the world titles and different things, are the most special. So if that makes sense, the direction I'm going in with this, Marina, may we talk a
Absolutely.
little bit about that? Thank you very
I
much.
will tell you about few of them because I cannot say there is one. There are a few, and they are very different and very beautiful. Once I was living in LA, and I've got a call from an Australian producer, Greg Granger, who said, "Oh, would you like make a TV show about the Great Barrier Reef?" Of course. And I went to Australia, that I love a lot. And we made this TV show about Great Barrier Reef. We were around the most beautiful corals, the most beautiful places. We saw the corals spawning with the full moon. We saw the turtles deposing their eggs. So it was so in the nature that and we were with a very little crew. It was only us, like it was six of us on the boat, and nothing else. Normally, when you have like shooting of a movie, it's like 100 people, and here it was a really tiny and very productive company. And in one moment, I had a pause, maybe like half an hour. So I went for a kayaking around to relax. And I saw a big shade somewhere under the water. And I immediately went there. I had my fins and mask in the kayak. I put it on, jumped in, and it was a whale shark. It was the first time I was seeing a whale shark. It was close to Elliot Island, where nobody never saw a whale shark in their life, but it was there for us. And the cameraman, Toby, he saw that I was doing something, so he jumped with the camera in the water. And we have had this acquaintance with a huge, beautiful whale shark of 8 meters. And first, I was going in a big distance because I was afraid that it will get away. But I was so attracted by this whale shark that I couldn't stay far away. So I was getting closer to it till I felt the feeling that, when a shark is going, you have little fishes, like custody fishes, around. I felt the feeling of the fishes, how protected they were. And it was such a connection. I felt that this whale shark was accepting me as a friend. So we were close, floating around in the ocean, feeling like so together. And I had such an inspiration, such a happiness in my heart. Probably it was my longest breath hold ever, because I just didn't want to come up. I just want this to continue for the whole life. It was so beautiful to feel that we are the one. We are not different species. I'm not breathing air. Just we are the one. And that was the most touching experience I've ever had before in my free dive life. And it was fantastic. Then the other story, what I love in the ocean, was when I was in Tahiti. We were shooting the remake of Point Break. And I didn't have the mask, fins, nothing. I just was in the ocean, feeling the water, and I had the desire to go down. I went down, no fins, no mask, like nothing, maybe 30 meters. And I stopped there, opened my arms and legs as a star, and I felt all that weight of the ocean on the top and on the sides, all around, and the light of the sun. And it's very, in Tahiti, it's very like clear water, and it's not dark at 30 meters, it's very clear. And I felt like no gravity suspended there. And as the time stopped, like no time, no problems, no nothing, just this moment. And I have this moment still in my mind, in the feeling of my body. And when I need some strength, I come back in it, and I feel that um, just 1 second, dissolving in the water. I was totally dissolved in the ocean.
Wow, that is incredible. And both of those stories, absolutely incredible. And the depth, the meaning, the spiritual aspect, it's remarkable. So, okay, I was really looking forward to asking you that question more than any other question, to be honest, because it's something so intangible and so, it's outside of all the achievements. It's the spiritual experience, the real connection, and I just appreciate you sharing that. Now, we also have touched a few times here on the acting side of things as well, and I would like to go a little bit more into that because it's also something you're very well known for. It's also a very big part of your life. And really, what I'm going to do, I was thinking about this when I was preparing earlier today. I was thinking, how are we going to break this down in the timeline? And Marina, it's actually very simple. Is the same type of question as I was just asking you about the freediving itself, because you've been in so many movies and shows and all different things that I would like to hear about some of the ones that are the most special for you. It's the same thing because I was thinking if we talk about them all, I would love to. We'd be here till next week, I think.
For
We'd be
sure.
here a long time. So I think the best way to sort of condense a little bit is once again to talk about the most special achievements, the most special moments. The same thing, maybe there's places like you were just saying that you've gone, you wouldn't have gone otherwise, people you've met. There's so many things, but some of the most special moments from your actress career would be wonderful to hear about. Thank you.
With pleasure. So at a certain moment, I decided to create a short movies by myself. So to have an idea, to have a little group of people, creative people who wants to do that, and to produce a short movie that might be inspiring for the people. And in this way, the different short movies came out, and you can see them on my YouTube channel, Marina Kazankova channel. One of them is Gone Muse. We've done it with Eugen Shaman, a very talented director and underwater DOP. And the point was during the COVID, when everyone had many difficulties, problems, and like the end of normal life. We needed a support. We needed something to help us to jump out. And this short movie, Gone Muse, is about how we can find the resource in ourselves to jump up and live again even better. And I was performing with a violin underwater. That was my main partner. And it gave me the feeling of um, music and art and acting and inspiring all together. And then when we make the screening of this movie and make like psychological speaking about after, and we are asking our audience, what did they see, what story do they feel when they see the movie, and everyone has its all his own story, and it inspires me a lot to continue doing it. And one of other short movies that we've done now, it's in Ocean Film Tour. It's I Feel You with and Jimmy as a director, and Diego Gastaldi as my actor, my partner actor. It was a story about plastic. Because this problem in the ocean that we meet is very bad, and we wanted to work on it. And it's a story about a man and the soul of the ocean. The man sees a soul on the ocean underwater, covered by plastic, dying, and he saves it. And the beautiful thing about this movie is that Diego is a guy that he had an incident and his legs are not working. So he was going only with his arms, and he was going with his chair everywhere. And I thought, oh, how we will do that? And as soon as I saw him in the water, and as soon as we started working, I understood that he has such a powerful soul. He is such an inspiring person. He started to freedive actually when he could not walk. And he started to kite surf in that moment. And now he's thinking about free climbing and making so many activities. So he became a friend, and we're doing a lot of crazy stuff together. And every time we meet, it's not that often, but it always gives me such a big motivation. I see such a power of this person that no matter what, he is living his life more fully than any other person. So this really gives my life a very bright color, and I'm very glad for this project and to meet Diego and to have this friendship together.
Oh, that's amazing. That is absolutely incredible. That story about him not being able to walk, but the paralysis, but being able to swim and these things, that is so inspiring. But also the what you were saying there, Marina, about the plastics, the ocean conservation aspect, actually as well. And I love this question because I wasn't sure which movies were going to come back. I had no idea, so I love asking this question. But those ones, it makes sense why they are so special. And to lead on from there, I would like to ask you about the ocean conservation aspect because there are lots of things that people can do. to make a small difference to the ocean. So, for example, where I live, I'm in Cyprus, by the way, that's where I'm doing this from. I volunteer to, clean beaches and do little things. And it's not much, but it all makes a little bit of difference. When I'm swimming, diving, if I see anything there, I can pick it up and take away, from the bottom. There's all sorts of little things that people can do. And I think that sometimes people look at that and think, well, does it actually make any difference? But it does. And in your opinion, what are some recommendations, some advice you can give for ways that we can protect the oceans in day-to-day life and just do things a little differently with our daily habits as people everywhere, even in cities, even in places that are not near the ocean, it still makes a difference. And you're in a very good position to maybe share one or two things about that. Is there anything about that aspect you can share with us, please, Marina? Thank you.
What I think that can really help is to have at school, like at primary school, the possibility to deliver to children how much harm we can give to this beautiful world or with the trash or with the plastic. For example, when we're going and making workshops, free diving with whales, and when we're on the boat going to see the beautiful whale, we can see a turtle dead because she has the plastic around her face, and it's so heartbreaking, and it's so it's really bad. And if we have the possibility to deliver these really powerful images to the kids at primary school, that they will connect together. So this poor dead animal, because I dropped something not in the bin, I should drop it in the bin. So for me, it's the culture that we give to our kids. My daughter will never throw something not in the bin because she grew up with that. So since she was little, she saw it, and she will never do it. And she is teaching her friends not to do it. And in my little, I can do it with my students, with through the social media. But I think that as a system, if we get it in the school, and if it touches the soul of kids, that will be a very good impact. Not to give out the trash. That's the main point. And obviously, yes, to clean out is very good, but we're not too much. And for example, this film with Diego, I Feel You, we've done with Spatsapnea. Spatsapnea, it's a social company that spatsa, so take away the dust, the trash from the ocean. And they make these big campaigns. They go all together and they take it out. And it's amazing that we are doing that. But we need to be more of us. Like, if every person has the responsibility of keeping clean the planet will be clean. Just take the responsibility inside.
Absolutely. Responsibility and education. I mean, I think that the education, the ignorance is the enemy of these things, I mean, I went to an event actually yesterday about the seagrass, and they're doing initiatives here where boats are mooring to not drop the anchors.
Oh,
To
yeah.
just, this, you know more about this.
Poseidonia. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Macedonia, for example, just an example, right? And I was hearing about these things, and I knew some, but I learned a lot more, and I could see other people there were thinking, "Wow, this is really how it's working this way." And it's very much about education, making it interesting, making it engaging, which is why I love what you do as well, with not only with the movies, but like with your YouTube and these other things, because you're sharing the experience in a very beautiful and educational way. That's not a question. I just want to say to you, it's wonderful work, wonderful work. Okay, so a couple of other topics. It's not lots of topics now, but a handful of other things. I'm curious as well, on a practical level, of how you find the time to do all of these things because you're free diving, you're training obviously for that, you're acting, you're doing motivational speaking, which I would like to talk more about shortly in a moment. But there's all of these different things, the psychology, of course, and somehow you fit all of these things together in your life, and obviously you love it. But from a time management type of perspective. How do you do that? How do you find time for everything?
It's so easy. We have so much time in our lives. If you're constantly doing something, you do so many things. I'm hyperactive, so I cannot just sit down in front of the television. I don't have television in my house. It's a waste of time. And I'm always doing something that inspires me, that brings me energy, and it's cool to change from being an actress to being a freediver to be a psychologist to be a motivational speaker. It's always changing and it is always keeping you fresh. You never get tired of what you're doing. I think that's the reason, and that I love it so much. It's I have always the desire to do it. I never tired of it. It's not boring. It's so very interesting. That's why, but it's easy.
Yeah. No, it makes sense actually. Actually, it makes a lot of sense because I'm a big believer in this as well. I mean, I can understand with yourself that it's an evolution, so these things are connected in a sense, they're evolving. But it's what keeps you fresh, keeps you young in spirit and heart for everybody. And I've seen that. The reason I ask is I've seen that because maybe on your social media, YouTube, somewhere, I've seen things about loving life and about the joy of life and something like that being mentioned. And I just think it's a wonderful, it's something that you lead by example, how to do, how to really love life and just be filled with the joy of life. And again, I'm not really asking as a question. I just want to say to you, Marina, when we sit down now, we meet for the first time, the joy of life really comes from your energy in a really nice way. And it's just that's inspiring in itself. Before you even say anything, the feeling of the joy of life is very very nice. So just so you know that from my heart to yours, I mean sincerely. Anyway, to get back on topic on course of these things, the motivational speaking aspect is also something I would like to talk about because, like when you're making movies, like when you're achieving titles, all of these things inspire other people in one way or another. But of course, the motivational speaking aspect is and public speaking in general is a way to put these messages across as well very very directly to people. So I would like to know a little bit about what kind of speaking you're doing because to be honest with you, I know the least about this aspect. Everything else I see in the posts, I've seen all of these things. But can you share with us a little bit about what you're doing in that area and why you're doing that to inspire people, please, Marina? Thank you.
So, motivational speaking is the most difficult aspect from all others that I'm doing because when you're acting, you have the role. So you are covered with the role. When you are free diving, you are surrounded by the water. When you are working one by one, a psychological session, you are supported by the knowledge. But when you are public speaking, it's just you and the audience. You don't have any mask. You are just delivering what you have to the audience. And I had fear for many years to make motivational speaking because you feel so uncovered. But after a while, when you start to understand that you have so much to say, so much to share, so much to help and inspire other people, you start to open your mouth. And that gives me, when I see the eyes of people to turn on, to start um, brillare, to start sparkle, I can understand that I'm doing something that is needed, something that helps people to live their lives. We have so many people who are not living their lives. They are just in the system. The system is very powerful. So they're just going to on a job, taking money, spending money, paying bills. But that's not a life. That's something robotic requested by the system. And it's sad to spend this amazing possibility of life in that way. And I want to share with people to motivate them to live their lives, to do everything they do with desire, with the joy, with the energy. Or you need to change what you're doing, finding what you love, or you need to change the way how you see the things. Because even doing a simple job might be very interesting and might be very helpful if you are 100% in it with your heart and really feeling and believing that it's something important for you and for others that you're doing. You're happy. You're just happy, joyful, and this makes our planet much better. And you will never throw out the trash in the ocean because it's because you're happy, because you're harmonical. And that's what my motivational speaking about. It's about living, letting people, helping people to have the courage to live their lives fully. Yes, there are some days that you're not that happy as other day, but when you believe that you are here to be happy, to do something beautiful, no matter what it is, that gives you such a different level of life, such a different perception. You're just happy.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, the world needs this, these things. The world needs this knowledge, and I hope you continue that for a long time because it's a much needed message. I also meant to ask you as well, though, Marina. It's interesting what you said there. You know about the exposure. Like when you're on stage, you feel exposed. You feel there's like a nakedness to being seen without the mask. You know, when you're doing psychological session, is it the same thing that when you're working with somebody, because you don't really have a mask when you're doing with somebody's feelings, I guess, or somebody's challenges in life, or do you feel that you have the professional sort of
You don't
distance?
have the mask, but you have the state. You have the
Mm.
mental state of unconditional love and acceptance. And with this state, it's not the state that belongs to a person. It's like also speaking about connection. So you get connection with the universe and you work from that. So you have the support of the universe and you're working as the reflection of the client. So you are helping to see the client, what are the problems and how to solve them. So it's for me, it's very protected state because you are well connected, and I love it also for it. Just a second, yeah. So we'll have more silence.
No, that's okay. That's okay. It's the same here. I had to do a lot with the noise cancelling. Okay, so last couple of things. You mentioned one thing earlier, which I think is important for the next generation, and we'll finish on the hour, just so you know, so it's not too long for you, for anyone else. But there's something you mentioned here about the impact you've had on your own children, and if you don't mind me asking about this, because I don't want to ask anything too much. You mentioned about the trash, and they won't ever put the trash, and you mentioned this earlier. Are you teaching your children to free dive as well, like your father taught you? Because earlier on you said what an important teacher and role model, and how your father had taught you all these different sports. And I'm just curious if that has come in like full circle now with your own children, or maybe if they're interested in other things. But if you don't mind me asking, is that something that you are doing with them?
Sure. I have one daughter. Her name is Andrea. And she is in the water since she was born, and she's on my workshops and world championships since she was born. And I've never taught her as like, you need to do this. She was learning by herself, just being there. So she loves water. She feels really easy in that. Now she's going 35 meters depth just for playing. She doesn't want to become a world champion, but she's enjoying the underwater life, the ocean, whales, dolphins, sea turtles, the respect to the ocean. So it's not teaching like my father was teaching me, but it's sharing. So yes, I'm totally sharing since she was born my passion for the sea, and also she's done an underwater job as a mermaid with me last October in a movie in Bucharest. It was so much fun. She was like 10 hours in the water, free diving, and she enjoyed it. Also, it was a bit hard, but as all underwater jobs. But she also felt this wonderful connection with shooting underwater.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I like what you said, sharing. Okay, sharing different to teaching, but it's a beautiful thing that you are sharing that together, and I just think that's wonderful. Okay, so the last but not least thing to mention here, Marina, is that if people would like to work with you. Particularly, I've seen that you're doing free diving classes and you're doing all of these things. Obviously, there's the psychological aspect. There's all different things that people can do. And I know that on the social media, you're very connected and very open. So I would encourage everyone listening to this to please give Marina a follow if you haven't already on Instagram, any of these things to connect the YouTube. Check that out as well. I was just going to say that to our audience, but in terms of working with you more on a personal level to learn some of these things, how can people do that? What is the best way for people to connect with you in that way, please?
The easiest way is to send a message on Instagram and to come to my workshops around the world, to freedive, to go on psychological way, to hike, and to do many other activities, to freedive with whales, and to go deep in yourselves. That's the most important. And I would love you as well to freedive with me.
Oh, I would love to. I would love to. It's something that I haven't really gotten into today, but I've been learning a little bit. Very recent this year, a little bit. So it's something for the future. I would absolutely love, and that's very kind of you. But yes, it's been a wonderful talk today, Marina, and I really look forward to when our paths cross again in the future. But for today as well, I would just like to thank you also for not only for your time, but just for being so open and sharing so much beauty of life, of these experiences, so much inspiration, just being open, vulnerable, and sharing so much great advice that people can learn from. I appreciate that very much. So thank you.
Liam, I'm very grateful for you for what you are doing because you are doing a very big thing, inspiring people, bringing them different amazing speakers that can illuminate the different aspects. It's really great, and thank you very much for all this, and thank you for finding me and having this amazing conversation together. I'm very grateful, and you are doing a great job.
Thank you. That means very much. That means very much to me. Thank you. I wish you a wonderful day ahead. And oh, and before you go, I'm just going to also take one picture of us like this, if that's okay, just so I can post to say interviews coming
Yay.
soon.
Sure.
Okay, here we go, just so I can post that. But yes, wish you a wonderful day, and I'll be keeping an eye on everything you do from here. Wonderful work, and I look forward to talking again in the future. Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Liam. Bye to everyone.
Bye bye.
Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the Simply Inspired YouTube channel, and there'll be more videos coming soon.